go ahead and get started, please. And please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we have public comment. And as always, members of the public may address the school committee for up to 3 minutes on school and education matters. Complaints or allegations concerning specific employees or students will not be allowed, but will be addressed through established policies and procedures. Public comments shall be directed to the school committee and be brief and not repetitive. The school committee's practice is not to respond or debate with speakers during the public comment period. The superintendent or his staff will follow up on comments outside of the meeting as appropriate. Before starting, please state your name and place of residence. And do we have any public comments, Superintendent Tager?
Good evening. My name is Paul Butler. I'm a resident of Bangor. And I'm here as president of APSA. It's our professional organization. To read a statement that was endorsed by members and represents their views. And with me is Dan Shadbourne, who represents our group as the chief negotiator. During a previous school committee meeting, administrators were referred to somewhere among board discussion publicly about the problems of the budgeting process and the solutions that new funding might bring. Our first goal is to make sure it's understood publicly who administrators are. ABSA is the professional organization of the Bangor School Administrators. It's existed with national affiliation for over 40 years. Today, we're 21 school-based principals, assistant principals, and program directors. We feel lucky to work in Bangor. Yesterday, we were teachers. We teach special education, gifted and talented, elementary, middle school, content area teachers, to students with needs and strengths up and down the line in all types of school. Somewhere along the way, each of us gained skills, confidence, and experience to think we might be good at leadership, leading people in schools and teachers in new ways. Somewhere along the way, leader and a board gave us that opportunity. They thought so too. Whatever along the way, I will share that the challenges and problems had made us better, more empathetic, capable, and resilient, and in some ways more tolerant. And aware that criticism comes with the role, but not tolerant enough to let any public question remain about whether or not administrators in Bangor represent problems or solutions. So we'll end with our second goal. When the term administrators is used in this public forum, our goal is that it's understood that references to the work of any of us represents the work of all of us. And it be made clear to anyone who's following along that our association down to the member represents solutions, not problems. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, on to action items. We have a second reading of FY24 budget. Superintendent Tager.
Thank you, Chair Hassan. I'm recommending approval of the second reading of the FY24 budget. I want to thank school committee and our administrative team for listening, for having rich conversation. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with all of you. I met with principals as requested by the school committee. I can tell you that they care deeply for students, schools, and the community. They feel that the budget supports are in place for the schools and for our community. One adjustment that was made is the addition of one tutor at Fruit Street School when you asked if there was anything to add, and that is going to be funded through COVID dollars. And at this point, I'd like to ask Director Heyman to present. And Director Heyman, I want to thank you personally for the work that you've done, and Jane Tyler as well publicly, who's our accountant. So thank you both.
Good evening. We meet again. So we all will. Thank you. So After the last meeting, we met on the 29th. We had a workshop, and out of the workshop, we agreed to certain changes. I want to just very briefly speak to those, so we have that on record. We decided to add a history teacher at Bangor High, a ed tech at the Dowdy School that is half resource room and half in-school suspension. We added textbooks and periodicals, furniture and fixture for classrooms. We added a portion of a full-time equivalent for the multilingual program. It was actually 0.6, which brings the total teachers in that particular unit up to 4. So we've added all that at your direction. It was a total of $440,000, $725. So then we met with administrators. We asked if there was anything else, and besides the ed tech that Superintendent Tager just referred to, there was no additional ask for the budget. So I then put it together for you, and the packet went out today as quick as possible. It's a very skinny version versus what we've seen in the past. I think we've all looked at the various graphs and pie charts enough. They still exist, but not tonight. So let's get right to the meat of the matter. The hope after tonight, the second reading, is to endorse the budget and all articles that go with it, so we can meet our obligation to present a passed budget by next Monday to the city of Bangor. All right. No. Apparently I'm doing it too fast. There we go. So the first page in your packet after the cover page is the revenue. The revenue obviously shows how we're going to pay for the budget. And I'll briefly go through the items so it's very clear what's going on. The first line of revenue is what the state has deemed the minimum required to fund our schools, and that changed after their math issue last week. So that total for the Bangor School Department is $19,327,229. The next line is the local above required. That's the additional amount we deem necessary to run our schools. That and that total is $7,877,730. So together there are $27,204,959. It's an increase over last year in total of $1,616,238. And that section is what is supported by the taxpayers. So I just wanted to be clear. That section in total went up 6.32%. The next line is state appropriation. That's what the state deems necessary to run our schools. And because of their math issue, that went up last week as well. So the new total for next year is $25,853,193, an increase year to year of $1,771,590, or a 7.36% increase, which is very nice. The bottom section of the revenue stayed the same as the previous versions that you've seen, as well as the next to last line, which is the 1.25 million, which is we're supporting our own budget out of our fund balance. So the grand total of our budget that we're presenting tonight is $56,499,152, an increase over last year of $3,425,828. or 6.45%. And please stop me if you have any questions. The next page is the definitions that support where the various revenues come from. Then we get right into the expenses. This is the state budget categories. These are the categories the state requires every school system in Maine to adhere to. And they also total the amount $56,499,152 and show the increase of $3,425,828, and the 6.45% is there again. So I just wanted to, because of the few changes that we did from our last, some of the numbers didn't move at all, but I just want to briefly tell you the ones that did. So we put back custodial supplies and itemized maintenance supplies, and that increased the facilities category by $88,415. We put back some furniture, and that moved the other instruction by $4,000. Most of the dollars went into regular instruction for an increase of $294,000. That's where the history teacher is, the ed tech that's at the Dowdy School, the 0.6% multilingual teacher, and $78,000 in furniture for the classroom, and $36,000 in textbooks and periodicals. So that was the biggest change. The special education, that picked up half of that ed tech, the part that's in the resource room. So that moved a little over $21,000 from the previous versions. And finally, the student and staff support. And that was all furniture, books, and periodicals. So those small changes account for the $440,725 that I told you about that we all agreed to at the workshop. The next few pages are the definitions of the categories, and I changed the notes if appropriate, but there was very few changes. Most of the notes, again, talked about salaries, benefits, and utilities. So the few positions we added changed the notes that had to do with salaries and benefits, but beyond that, there wasn't any real note change. Then the next page in your packet is the same expenses looked at by how we traditionally analyze our budget, and it's by the division. We call it divisions, which is all our schools, special ed, technology, debt service, pupil services, etc. So I'm not going to, I could, if asked, I could tell you exactly which divisions changed, but it wasn't all of them, because every school changed because of the classroom supplies and the textbooks and the furniture that we put back in. There was movement in every one of them, which is, I'm sure when I summarize it next week and send it back to them, they'll be very pleased. Most of the biggest change was in Bangor High, of course, because of that is where the history teacher is. The pupil services picked up $64,000, but that's where the multilingual portion of that new position is located. And the Dowdy School and special education picked up half of the ed tech each. So I'll be happy to answer any questions, but there, it's just a lot of small numbers. If you want me to do it, I will. Not seeing none. So the budget we have before you today, just to recap. Is $56,499,194, increase of $3,425,828, and net increase of 6.45%. And what we need to do before we leave tonight is to obviously, I'm going to answer any questions you might have, but once that is done, if you're willing, I will read the articles one at a time. And after they're adopted, then we have a finished budget. There's a number of articles, and it breaks down the budget the way the state wants it presented. So first, are there any questions on the revised budget? We increased it 440,000. The rest of the just about 50%, it was within a couple $1,000, went to lower the amount that was needed from the taxpayers. So it was a pretty even 50-50 split. Any questions, concerns? All right. Hearing none. Here we go.
I think I need to get a motion first.
Oh, okay.
Before you jump into that. So can I get a motion, please? To for second reading of the FY24 budget. So moved.
Technically, you don't need that.
Really?
Just go article by article.
Just go
No,
by
I don't-
article, one article at a time. You don't need you need the motion at the end to approve the whole budget.
Okay.
But you
At the
don't
very
yet
end.
need a motion at this time.
Article 11 is the total budget. So by
Okay.
doing that, you're going to get there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
As long as you're sure.
I am.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Article 1. To see what sum the school administration unit will be authorized to expend for regular education for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $24,399,514.
Now you
So
have a
I'll,
motion.
okay, so for each one?
For each
Yes.
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
Second, he said.
all in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 2. You see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for special education for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $11,049,608.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 3. To see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for other education for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $1,477,135.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 4, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for student and staff support for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $5,106,151.
Motion, please.
second,
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 5, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for system administration for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $1,519,288.
Motion, please.
so moved. Second,
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 6, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for school administration for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $2,756,261.
Move to accept.
second,
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 7, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for transportation and buses for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $2,080,000.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 8, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for facilities maintenance for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $6,023,063.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 9, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for debt service and other commitments for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $1,980,000.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 10, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for all other expenditures, which includes $25,000 for the food service program support for the fiscal year 2023-2024. Recommended $108,132.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 11, to see what sum the district unit will appropriate for the total cost of funding public education from pre-K to grade 12 as described in the Essential Programs and Services Funding Act. Recommended $56,499,152.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
Article 12, to see if the school administrative unit will appropriate $400,030 for adult education and raise $230,000 as the local share, with authorization to expend any additional incidental or miscellaneous receipts in the interest and for the well-being of the adult education program.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
And Article 13, to see the school administrative unit will raise $18,022.96 to be used for the Bangor School Department's vocational education assessment. The assessment is for the UTC adult education budget, which totals $318,528.80, of which $60,847.08 is supported by sending districts.
Motion, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Passes 7-0.
And we have a budget.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I just wanted to say something briefly, and I really thank you, Jerry and Superintendent Tager and the administrative team. I am really, really happy that this finally passed. I'm really content with the final budget. I think we did due diligence on our parts. It was, it got pretty heated a couple times, and I think this is out of passion. I think everyone on this committee has an excellent heart. We highly respect all the administrators and administrative team. I think, we left after that last workshop saying, we respect the administrators, and we would be content if they came back and said, we're good. We're happy with how things are. And so I think that speaks volumes. And again, everyone speaks out of passion for the students, faculty, staff, and administrators. So I thank you all so much. I know this was kind of hard, difficult at times, but I'm very happy and content with it where things are. So
right.
Any other comments? No. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, adjournment.
Adjournment.
Yep.
You want to say something
Nope,
too?
you're good.
Okay. Adjournment. A motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? I have a question.